Okay, my dear students. Now we're going to discuss our module three, Visual World at his time. Mm-mm. So, okay, start. We ordered this quote. Trouble is a car pricing trouble. Passionate, sustainment, and an elegy in an. Shh. Okay, Dr. Sarizal. To understand the life of Dr. Salazar, it is important to know the historical background of the world and the Philippines during his time. Okay. 19th century. Okay, sabi doon, para daw malaman natin buhay ni Jose Rizal, kailangan malaman mo natin yung context, yung environment during sa panahon niya. Yes. Okay. Era of challenges and responses. 19th century is an era of challenges and responses. A period of major changes which affected man and society. Okay. 19th century, June 19, 1861, the birth of the American Civil War was raging fiercely in the United States on the Negro slavery. Zell was born and lived with a restless political slave oriented of leadership changes in government, liberation, violence, and worship affecting the lives of mankind. So, 1861 or no 19th century sa Amerika is nagkaroon ng civil war because of the Negro slavery. Yes, pero hindi yan yung account natin sa Philippines. Yes, the Philippines. Mhm. In the Philippines, the Filipino people suffered of the Spanish misrule, for they were victim of the Sabatos and deteriorating colonial power. And Rizal could attest of the evil event that made Filipinos feel marginalized, discriminated, and bullied at this time. Bakit kaya ganito? What would be the reason why? Uh, Except for the misrule. Ano bang meron? Well, that time kasi nagkaroon ng abusive power. And polo is serbisyo. Yung polo is serbisyo is a kind of forced labor kung saan if the man is 16 to 60 years old ay isa pilipang magtatrabaho. Imagine that, no? And also nagkaroon pa ng diba, tributo, pandula, mga iba't ibang terms na pinatupad ng Spaniard. And stability of colonial administration. Political turmoil has been experiencing during the time was a great effect of administrators colonized countries so brought the frequent periodic shift in colonial policies of the colonial officials. For example, from 1834 to 1897, the Philippines was ruled by 50 governor-generals. At one time period of less than a year, there were four generals. Yes, no? Nagkakaroon ng periodic shifts. Kasi iba-iba pa naman yung umubo. Well, and the Governor General, syempre, sila yung mga parang president during that time sa Pilipinas. And some of them are wicked. Or almost them are wicked. Example of that is si UC, yung nagpalo sa Gomburza, si squared off. Nagpapatay sa mga Gomburza. And also, corrupt official. So therefore, kung pa man may mga corruption ano, corrupt officials. Okay, ang definition kasi ng corrupt is misuse of government, misuse of leadership, or uh, or abusing the leadership. Hindi ito yung literal na pagnanakaw ng pera, no? Matatawag kang corrupt kahit hindi ka magnakaw basta ang ginagamit mo yung position mo for your own self-interest. Kapag gano'n Hindi man literal na pagnanakaw, is kurap ang tawag. Yes, and, yes. Okay, the colonial officials sent by Spain in the 19th century were a far cry from their able and dedicated predecessor of the 16th, 17th, and 18th century. The Siglo de Oro of this partner which produced Miguel Cervantes, Lope de Vega, and other glorious of the Hispanic nation. Well, hindi lang naman yung yung corrupt officials but also yung mga fraile. Mga fraile rin talaga. I think nandito yun gonna discuss it. And example of the corrupt officials like what I said is, yes, General Rafael Escuero, a ruthless governor general of the most by executing the innocent kumpul General Valeriano Weyler, a cruel and corrupt governor general, arrived in Manila, a poor man and returned to Spain millionaire, was called tyrant because of his brutal persecution of the Kalambatenans. Imagine that. Corrupt kasi, pumunta ng Pilipinas na mahirap, balik sa Spain na milyonaryo. Kurakot. Kaya, also, well, until now, meron pa rin ganyan. And, ito kay Governor General Escudo, ganito yung nangyari dun. Ganito yung nangyari diyan. Itong Gumburza kasi, they're planning for secularization. Secularization is a movement where they want to eradicate the foreign priests to let the Filipino priests govern the church. Kaso nga, ayaw ng mga ah, foreigner, ayaw ng mga Espanyol na pare na maalis sila sa church. Kaya they plot something to the point na, yes, pinalabas nila na mayroong rebellion and the leader of that is the Gumbuza and they have to execute Gumbuza. Well, bago kasi nagkaroon ng Rafael Escuerdo, mayroong Governor General na mabait, si De La Torre. Kaso nagalit yung mga praile na itong si De La Torre is friendship ng mga Pilipino. So, nagsumbong sila. Nagsumbong sila sa hari ng Spain. Dapat palitan si De La Torre. That's why, lumalabas sa board exam, the most loved Governor General is De La Torre. Pinakaminahal daw ng Pilipino is De La Torre. Yes, and si Governor General who killed the Conversa is Escuero. Okay. Next is some of the factor is for some accepting rights and is to favor someone. Well, sa other term is merong lagay, no? Naglalagay. Well, culture na yan ng Pilipinas, yung lagay. Until now nga may mga lagay-lagay pa rin. Mga fixers, mga ganyan. Culture na yan ng Pilipinas. For example, may pinapalakad ka, ganyan. Bibigyan mo ng tip na 1,000 para bumilis yung proseso para malangisan yung mga bakal, 'di ba, is matapos. Well, ganyan sa pipe, lagay system actually. Kasi nga kapag hindi mo naman nila ngayon kasi 'pag hindi ka naman nagbigay ng lagay matagal. Para 'pag nag-rush ka 'no, inconvenient. May human rights denied to Filipino, no equality before the law. Yes, that's true. Example of that is the nangyari kay Basilio and Crispin, no? Oo. Well, you know what, the Noli Me Tangere is reflection kung ano yung nangyayari nung panahon ng Espanyol dito sa Pilipinas. Some of the praile is talagang masasama. Some of them are rapists katulad ni Damaso o Padre Damaso. Yeah, yes. With the Christian doctrines that irrespective of color and race, that all men are children of God, Filipinos were fascinated by this noble concept of human relation. That is, with they chose to become Christian, but in practice, Spaniard arrogantly regarded the brown skinned Filipinos as inferior beings. So, ironically, Yung mga pari na dapat sana ay servant ng Diyos, ganyan-ganyan, nagtuturo ng kabutihang asal, sila pa yung nanlalait, nagkakamkam ng lupa at gumagawa ng masama. Imagine that. That is no equality for the law. Well, that's ironically, well, yes, no, ang mga praile. And that time hindi mo puwedeng i-question yung mga praile. Why? Oh, they are more powerful than the government. Oo, kasi, oh, ang mga pari daw sila daw ang Diyos sa lupa. Gagawin mo daw sa pare, gagawin mo rin sa Diyos. Example, inaway mo ang pare. 'Pag inaway mo ang pare, inaway mo na rin daw ang Diyos. Example, nung panahon ni Rizal, kaya nga itong si Rizal meron siyang bayaw 'no, hindi hindi niritwalan nung namatay kaya nagalit siya. We gonna discuss that now, maybe in the next module. Imagine that, oo, paniniwala ang mga tao kasi noon nung panahon ng Espanyol masyado silang religious. Example of that yung nanay ni Rizal, si Maria Clara, they are religious. Si Sophia Alba religious, 'di ba? Ganyan. Masyado silang religious, naniniwala sila sa Diyos which is good. Kaso nga lang, example, ikaw masyado kang religious ta's namatay ka hindi ka bautismuhan, ay hindi ka ritwal. Oo, 'di ba ang pangit kasi ibig sabihin nun ay di ka daw pupunta ng langit. Yes, that is something terrible. Maladministration of justice. The imperialist way of thinking brought Filipinos and white Spaniards to be equally for but not before law and certainly practice. The Spaniard penal code was heavier penalties on native Filipinos or mestizos and lighter penalties on white Spaniards. So therefore, nagkaroon ng discrimination and unfair treatment of justice. O hindi pantay yung pagtingin. Kapag Pilipinos, 'pag brown angel, mahirap din yan, oh, 'di ba? 'Pag ito ay maputi, oh, sige, imagine that, nagkakaroon ng that's so good. Lalo pa naman yung mga Pinoy 'di ba brown skin, ibig sabihin sila ay mga angel, walang karapatan. Well, you know what guys, during this time, ang mga Pilipino ay hindi tinatawag na Pilipino kundi Indio. So, sino yung mga tinatawag nilang Pilipino? Mga tinatawag nilang Pilipino ay yung mga Insulares, mga Espanyol na pinanganak sa Pilipinas, Insulares. Peninsulares naman ang tawag sa mga Pilipinong pinanganak sa Espanya. O ganito ang social system noon. Ganito ang caste system noon. Ang highest Peninsulares. Ito yung mga Espanyol na pinanganak sa Espanya pero tumira dito sa Pilipinas. So therefore, tinatawag silang Pilipino. And Insulares, ito yung mga Espanyol na pinanganak dito sa Pilipinas. So, Espanyol na pinanganak sa Spain, Peninsulares. Espanyol na pinanganak sa Pilipinas, Insulares. Oh. Tapos, next ay si mga mestizo. Mestizo or Creole, sila yung mga may halong lahi, no? Next is Principalia or Ilustrado. Principalia or Ilustrado. Principalia, ito yung mga mayamang Pilipino. Ilustrado naman, ito yung mga anak ng mayamang Pilipino na nakapag-aral abroad, nakapag-aral sa Espanya at namulat ang kaisipan. Example of that, si Jose Rizal. Okay, si Bonifacio ba? Isa ba siyang ilustrado? Hindi. Si Bonifacio ay hindi ilustrado kasi hindi naman siya nakapag-aral abroad. Ang ilustrado lang ay yung mga nakapag-aral abroad. And the last and the lowest, yes, in the caste system is the hindi. Pinakamababa. Pinakamababang lahi. Yes. So, dati kasi, 'Pag maitim ka, kulay brown ka, ganyan, mababang lahi, parang gano'n. Katulad sa mga ano, sa mga Amerikano 'di ba, nagkaroon sila ng mistreatment sa mga negro, oo. Pero ngayon, yung mga foreigner naman ngayon, mas gusto nila yung maiitim, mas gusto nila yung mga brown 'no, oo, ayun. Nagkakabaliktad na, oo, yes. Okay, well, social prestige and color skin wear, preponderant factor in winning a case in court, irrespective of the weight of their skin, might carry selection victory in any litigation. So, ganun daw yun. Yung ibabase daw, magbe-base ang justice kung maputi ka or pangit ka or maitim ka. Oo. At not only that, but also in well, the social prestige. Well, same goes here in the Philippines. Ano. 'Pag mayaman ka, mas madali mong makuha ang hustisya. 'Pag mahirap ka, ewan ko talaga. Well, example of that is itong si Alice Go. Alice Go, oh, 'di ba? Yaman-yaman ni Alice Go, napatunayan na ganito, ganyan, na hindi naman siya Pilipino, na gano'n, kurap siya, ganyan, na may kinalaman siya sa pogo. However, itong si Alice Go ay hindi naparusahan. Ay, mayaman, nakapagtago. Another example of that, si Kibuloy, nagtatago agad daw. Mayaman kasi. Example of that yung mga politicians. 'Pag nagkakaroon ng kasalanan na guilty, proven by the law, guilty, nagkakaroon ng house arrest, hindi nakukulong. But here in the Philippines, 'pag mahirap, nagnakaw lang ng pagkain kasi walang makain, kulong agad. Oo, um, even not yet proven by the law, innocent pa lang, kulong na agad 'no. So that is a racial prejudice or racial discrimination. It was prevalent everywhere in government offices, court of justice, and the armed forces, and even in the institutional and a classical hierarchy. So yes, even ngayon naman, meron talagang racial discrimination. Kahit naman tayong mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Minsan we discriminate din yung mga lahi. Example, mm. 'Pag may ano, tayong mga Pilipino, discriminate din tayo minsan, mahilig din tayong mag-discriminate, 'di ba? Example sa mga maiitim, 'di ba? "Ay negro, baho, may putok," ganyan. "Ay negro, pangit," ganyan, oh, 'di ba? Ganyan tayo, 'di ba? Kaya ang ginagawa natin sa mga mapuputi, sa mga Kano is oo, para ginagamit para yumaman, oh. Asawa ng AFAM to become rich 'no, kumbaga ganyan, ginagamit mo. Well, that's also a discrimination. Mistreatment din 'yan, oo. Minsan ganyan din tayo. And next is Freilock Justice. So, yes, ito yung mga pare, government of the friars. So, like what I've said, hindi mo kasi pwedeng i-question noon ang mga pare. That's why itong si Emilio Aguinaldo, nung naging first president siya ng Pilipinas, pinanungkalan niya na agad yung separation of church and the government. Why? Kasi 'pag hindi mo pinaghiwalay yung church and the government, malaking issue 'yan. Kasi 'di ba sometimes nung panahon kasi ng mga panahon na Spaniard is somehow mas malakas si church kaysa sa government. So, kailangan talaga magkaroon ng separation para walang pakialaman. Government of the friars. The friars practically ruled the Philippines throughout the faculty of civil government. Columns about this from the governor general down to alcaldes mayors were under the control of friars. Like what I've said, mas malakas ang mga frailes sa government during the time of Rizal. Kaya sa No Limit Tangere ni Rizal, makikita mo na halos yung mga pinapatamaan niya is mga pare. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, ayaw ng mga pare ipatupad itong Rizal Law. Napatamaan ng pare. And Yes, and you know what? The priors, yung mga pare, yung may-ari ng malalaking lupa dati sa Pilipinas, including the land of Jose Rizal. Oo, na umuupa sila sa mga Dominicans. So, and nagkaroon nga ng issue yan, eh, kasi kinukuha na nung Dominicans yung lupa nila Rizal noon. Gusto nila mas malaki yung ibabayad sa kanila. Remember Kabesang Tales sa Noli Me Tangere? Yes, Kabesang Tales. Yung ano yan, the real person behind the Kabesang Tales is yung tatay ni Rizal. So, yung kwento kasi ni Kabesang Tales, meron siyang and kinuha ng mga private na Kabesang Tales. And forced labor, known as the Polo Exhibition or Polo, was the compulsory labor imposed by the Spanish colonial authorities. So itong si Polo Servicio, ito yung lahat ng Pilipinong lalaki 16 to 60 years old dapat magtrabaho. So imagine that, ito isipin nga, kadalasan itong ginagawa sa simbahan, magpapatayo ng simbahan, magpapagawa ng tulay, kung ano-ano, gagawa ng bahay ng Friday, ganyan, gagawa ng bahay ng Governor General, mga ganyan. Guys, ito libre, walang sahod yung mga Pilipino. Well, isipin nyo 'to, example, ikaw isa kang tatay, hmm, isa kang tatay, you have to support for your family, you have to work for your family. Mm. Kaso instead na magtrabaho ka para may maipakain ka sa pamilya mo, hindi ka na nakakapagtrabaho kasi nga compulsory labor, ibig sabihin mandatory. Kung hindi mo gagawin, lalatiguin ka, paparusahan ka, 'di ba? O saan ka kukuha ng pagkain para sa anak mo, pamilya mo kung gano'n, may forced labor. And also, kailangan mo magbayad ng pera para hindi ka maka ma ma makaiwas ka sa polo. So therefore 'pag mayaman kang Pilipino ta's tamad ka, hindi ka makakapag-polo o di ka magtatrabaho sa polo na mase-set aside ka sa forced labor. And what we call FALIA. The FALIA is the sum of money paid to the government to be exempted from monthly services. So paano yung mga mahihirap o paano yung mga isang kaisangkupan na kailangan 'di ba? They have to pay money for that. Kaso yun nga, dahil nga mahirap sila, kailangan nila ng pera para magtrabaho, eh, di sila nakakapagbayad ng FALIA and at the same time, yun wala silang mapakain sa pamilya nila. So maraming nag-clash dahil sa polo 'no. Siyempre, yun nga ngayon nga yung mga tao nga ngayon kailangan mag-work ng 8 hours per day para kumita ng pera, para may forced labor pa ngayon, yung magtatrabaho ka ng walang sahod, 'di ba, magagalit ka, saan ka kukuha ng pambayad mo ng bills, pangkain mo, pambuhay mo. So, yes, that around there. Well, next is hacienda owned by the friars. Imagine that. Yung mga pano ay may mga hacienda, mga lupain. Spanish friars belong to the different religious order where the richest landlords, so they own the best haciendas. Rural folk who had been living in these haciendas and cultivating them generation after generation became tenants. Grabe ang yaman ng mga pare noon. They are powerful. The Guardia Civil has rendered meritorious service in suppressing the bandits in the province. They later becoming famous for their rampant abuses. Rizal actually witnessed the atrocities committed by the Guardia Civil at Ramos. And he and his mother had been victim of the brutalities of the Guardia Civil. So itong Guardia Civil sila yung para mga pulis, no? Mga pulis lang. Yes, sila yung mga pulis. Sila yung nanguhuli sa mga bandido, mga mga kriminal. Yes. So itong si Rizal tapos yung nanay ni Rizal to be specific, is nahuli ng Guardia Civil. Yun nga, like what I've said, na-experience ni Rizal yung, yes, improper justice sa law. Improper justice of the law. or improper treatment of the law during the time of Spaniards kanila Rizal. Because itong nanay ni Rizal, napagkamalang napagkamalan siyang lalasunin niya yung hipag niya. Oh, yung hipag niya naman may kabit na gwardiya sibil. Oh, so yung hipag niya na may kabit na gwardiya sibil, nagsumbong sa gwardiya sibil, and without proper process of the law, wala palang hatol-hatol, ito pinaglakad na yung mother ni Rizal sa buong Laguna. Imagine that. And also kinulong yung nanay niya. Oo. So by that, at the very young age na bukod sa nalaman niya yung nangyari sa Gomburza, kasi nga kaklase ni Kuya Pasiano, na-experience niya mismo yung nangyari sa mother niya, and alam niyo naman love na love siya sa mother niya, sa mother. And also, yung inaagaw yung lupain nila. Kinukuha na nung mga pare. Kailangan nila magbayad ng mas malaking buwis kung hindi kukunin yung lupa nila. So itong si Rizal, he really first hand, he really experienced those moments. Yes. So yun. Kaya yun yung mga motivation na kaya magsunod siya. And so, important changes in the 19th century struggle for nationalism, gradual spread of democracy, modernization of living to industrial revolution, advance of science, march of imperialism, and new current of movement of true growing confidence on progress. And also, hindi man nasabi, also, tinasama dito is the creation of Suez Canal. Okay, the creation of Suez Canal. Okay, Suez Canal is a man-made canal kung saan mas pinapadali yung biyahe papuntang Spain, papuntang Europe. Okay, and because of that, mas napabilis yung yung trades. Mas napabilis yung trades. Mas napabilis yung pagpunta sa Spain. And because of that, nagkaroon ng mga kalakalan. Yumaman yung mga prinsipalya, yung mga mayayamang Pilipino nagkaroon ng negosyo. And because of that, itong mga mayayamang Pilipino, pinag-aral nila yung mga anak nila sa abroad. Yes, tulad ni Rizal, pinag-aral siya sa abroad. Tulad nila Luna, Little Pilar. And by that, they realized the freedom in the Europe. Sabi nila, sana maranasan ito ng Pilipinas. Kaya sila ay nagsulat ng Reformation. Nagkaroon ng La Solidaridad and Propaganda Movement. At yun, nagkaroon sila ng vision for um, and that's it. That concludes our discussion. That is Module P. Have a nice day and bye-bye. I hope you learned something.